Let's talk about abortion, okay? I don't care what you're religious or non-religious, if you worship a grasshopper, if you're an atheist, it doesn't matter. I want to explain to you that the abortion issue for white fake Christians has nothing to do with them actually giving a damn about life. It's about control. God didn't stop Adam and Eve from eating the fruit, did he? Because he gave them the free will to choose. Did God stop slavery, Jim Crow, the genocide of the Native Americans? Has he stopped firearm shootings? George Floyd, Martin Luther King, Ahmaud Arbery. No? Did he stop January 6th? Did he stop you evangelicals from voting for an adjudicated rapist and a convicted felon who cheats on his wife? No, because you have the free will to follow an antichrist. When you take away a woman's free will to choose, you are taking away the fundamental right that God gives us, which is free will. It's control. Ranking sin. The book of James says that if you break one commandment, you're guilty of breaking them all. So if I tell a lie and if I rob a bank, they are equal according to the scripture. A sin is a sin is a sin. The consequence is different, but they are the same. And what these white Pharisees have done is decided that being gay and abortion are the worst sin, and there is absolutely no scripture there to support it. It's a lie. It's total BS. It's indoctrination through the white evangelical church. And for the vast majority, that's the reason that we're here as a society. Because they believe that a man who sexually assaults women, who most likely is a pedophile, who's a felon, who cheats on his wife, who steals from children that are dying from cancer, who looks at 15-year-olds getting undressed in girls' locker rooms, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. But if you have an abortion, that's a bridge too far. So let's play that out for a second. So he sexually assaulted Jean Carroll and 25 other women. Now, according to these pro-life evangelicals, if any one of them would have gotten pregnant, they would have said, well, that's really bad what he did, but you have to force those babies because I'm pro-life. I want you to think about the moral depravity of these people. First of all, they don't even believe the women because they're disgusting human beings. And then they're going to force a woman to, every time they see that baby, to know that that was from their abuser. You know how sick and depraved it is? But this is who they are because they don't care. Now, let's talk about that side of it, the pro-life side. Once the baby's born, you don't care if it has health care, if it has a living wage, if it has affordable housing. You sure as hell don't care if it's shot in a damn school or a parking lot or a movie theater or a shopping mall. Look at what happened to Adriana Smith. Sadly, she got brain damage after 6 weeks of being pregnant from some freak accident. It's horrible. But Georgia, because, they praise Jesus and they're pro-life because the Bible told me so, forced her corpse to stay on a ventilator for 4 months while her 6-year-old came in and said, why is mommy sleeping? Tell me, evangelicals, because you're so pro-life, what about the medical bills? You going to help with that with your money? Are you going to open a GoFundMe because you're pro-life? That's what Jesus would do. You going to use taxpayer dollars, or is that socialism? That kid might need special help one day. Oh, but the Department of Education's gone, so the kid can't get special needs. Do you care if the kid gets shot in a school? No, you don't. You don't give two craps about it. Look at the women in Texas. They have a 56% increased mortality rate, which means that they are dying because you took away their right to choose. For black women, it's 3 times. For white women, it's 2 times. But hey, you're pro-life. I'm all about the life. You don't give a damn. What this is about is white men wanting to control women. That's why we haven't had a woman president. Because they think that their masculinity is less than if a woman runs this country. I do the laundry. I do the dishes. I balance the checkbook. I do the banking. I do the grocery shopping. I do all of it because it's my house. Because I'm not a weak, insecure little beta alpha male with a small schlong. They take one scripture, you shall be submissive to your husband. Deborah was a judge in the Old Testament. Jesus' mom was a woman. Mary Magdalene was one of the closest women to Jesus. Ruth wrote a book in the Old Testament. It sure seems like that women in the Bible had a lot of positions. And it's ironic, isn't it? That 98% of gun violence are from pissed off, angry, emotionally unstable men, the vast majority white men, and only 2% are women. It's ironic, isn't it? But somehow women are just too emotional. The Trail of Tears, Wounded Knee, slavery, Jim Crow, school shootings, January 6th, the Middle Passage, every atrocity in this country has been a Christian person. Yeah, the founding fathers that owned black people, that were so Christian that black people were three-fifths of a white man, that only 21-year-old white men could learn. That's their version of a Christian nation. And Jesus evidently came down and wrote the Second Amendment because it's a God-given right. This is why we're here as a society. We have a lot of stupid, uneducated people that don't have critical thinking. Example. Why did God flood the earth if he's pro-life? See, I believe in God. But that's a fair question, and I don't have the answer for that. But when you ask a white Christian nationalist or a MAGA, what are they going to say? Who are you to judge God? You're not perfect. Just get in line and be a good little Christian. Where does the Bible say to be a Christian? It doesn't. It says to have the faith of a mustard seed, that if you have the faith of a child, that you could move mountains. That's what it says. They are religious Pharisees. They are not people of faith. They and Satan have a lot in common. Both believe in God, and neither one of them follow him. Their faith goes as far as a gold necklace and as a Trump Bible and a Trump bear and a Trump lucky sock. That is the extent of their religious ideology. Faith without works is dead. And I would argue that faith without works is religion. It is none of your damn business what a woman does with her body. So stop trying to control her. Have a good day.